Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Tejas Networks Limited Q2 FY25 earnings conference call hosted by ICICI Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Sanjesh Jain from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thanks, Sagar. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining on Tejas Networks Limited second quarter FY25 results conference call. We have Tejas Networks management on call represented by Mr. Anand Atharia, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, Mr. Arnob Roy, Chief Operating Officer and Full-Time Director, Mr. Sumit Dhingra, Chief Financial Officer, Dr. Kumar N. Sivarajan, Chief Technology Officer. I would like to invite Mr. Arnob to initiate the call with his opening remark, post which we will have a Q&A session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So, everyone, welcome to our quarterly investor call. I hope you have received, you've seen the slides that we have uploaded. So I'll take a few minutes to go through them before our Q&A session. Then on the first part, our quarterly revenues has been the highest ever in the history of the company, 2,811 crores, with a profit after tax of 275 crores, and an order book at the end of Q2 is 4,845 crores. So some of the significant things that have happened during the quarter for our wireless business, we have significantly ramped up our 4G 5G RAN shipments business network. This quarter we did more than 30,000 sites, and cumulatively we have shipped more than 58,000 sites to the BSNL network. I think there has been a tremendous achievement in terms of scaling up our manufacturing capacity. We also received additional orders for densification of the installed 4G sites in a few circles, and by that what I mean is that to increase coverage of BSNL, many of the existing sites, the single band sites have been upgraded to a dual band with the addition of band 28, and with that, with the existing deployment, BSNL will get a lot more additional coverage with the installation of this additional band. From a wireless business, we have been selected for PTM and WDM equipment from one of the tier 1 telcos in India for the capacity expansion for the 4G 5G mobile network. We have seen continuing success in the critical infrastructure segment in India, and we have been selected by a leading state power utility company for their captive SCADA networks, and also been selected in one of the smart cities projects in the country. In the international market, we are seeing good traction for our GPON and WDM products, and we've had a few new customer wins in the Americas and in Africa. And we received our initial order for the network modernization win in the US, which we had reported last quarter. We have seen the initial orders coming in, which will be supplying this quarter, and we hope to follow this up with additional as well. From a corporate point of view, we completed the merger with Concall Labs in this quarter. So now I hand it over to Sumit, our CFO, for walking us through the financial numbers.
Good evening, everyone. For the quarter, we did revenues of 2,655 crores. This is 1.8x of the previous quarter and about 6.7x of the year before. After considering the other operating revenue, which is predominantly PLI incentive, the revenue was 2,800 crores. Against this, we did an EBIT of 459 crores, profit after tax of 275 crores, compared to 77 crores of profit in the previous quarter. If we move to the next slide where we talk about key financial indicators. Our inventory at the end of the quarter was 3,411 crores, which come up slightly compared to the previous quarter, and expected to further come down as we convert this into finished goods. Then receivables stand at about 3,758 crores. The increase is predominantly stemming from higher shipments that happened in this quarter. We also collected about 1,400 crores during the period. Working capital is gone up by about 100 crores, and our borrowing position at the end of the quarter was 2,768 crores with a cash of about 583 crores. This I just hand it over back to Arnav. Yeah.
Thanks, Sumit. So, little bit more color of our quarter performance and the business outlook. So, in terms of the revenues that we did, of course, largest segment has been India private, 93% of that, and as we had mentioned earlier, the BSNL shipments since we close to TCS, the private operator, private company, we categorize this as India, private revenue. So revenue is still dominated by our shipments for BSNL. The India government business declined about 4% of our revenues and declined year-over-year by 5%, and that was mainly because of the tail end of few of the contracts. And as we know that most of the government contracts go as far as tenders are concerned, these are not run rate business. So they go in the at the initial period there is a increase, and then there is a tail end, and then there is the next project which happens. So international, there was also a decline because of the timing of the POs and the shipments. And however, the key shipments, this was for 3% of our overall revenue, and the key shipments that happened international were to Africa and South Asia. We had a closing backlog of 1,800 crores, most of it in India, the 4,600 of that in India, and 200 plus in international. From a business outlook point of view, some of the key opportunities, large opportunities that we are targeting is one part of it is the expansion of BSNL's 4G network on the saturation sites, and also for the 5G upgrade, for which trials are ongoing right now, and we hope to convert this at some point of time. The Indian Railways tender on the collision avoidance system, where we have completed our POC successfully, and we are waiting for the tender to come out and get bidding to happen. Third large one is a private 5G application for a large enterprise in India, where again we are in ongoing trials right now. Okay. From a wireline point of view, the big opportunities for us is BharatNet Phase 2, where we are bidding to the tender with multiple partners. I think majority of the partners have bid our equipment into the tender. The other part is the expansion of WDM backbone networks in the utility segment. Most of our utility customers, for their telecom business, they are seeing significant business growth in their networks and traffic growth. So all of them plan for major expansion in their networks. And thirdly, for the international operators, we see major opportunities in FTTH or GPON, and also network modernization deals with multiple operators in both India as well as America. So I also wanted to add that I mentioned a few of the large deals that we are been targeting, but at the same time there are many other smaller deals that we are working on, and especially there are many other opportunities in wireless that we are targeting, with initial POCs or design proposals and stuff like that, and I can say that we are finally starting to see a lot more engagement with our wireless products, both in India as well as the international markets. So from a long-term, from a business outlook point of view, we still see outlook being very positive in all the factors that we had mentioned earlier, which are driving growth of networks, growth of traffic in the networks, and which lead to traction for our business. All of them continue to be positive and continue to show growth, whether it's in enterprise digital transformation, whether in AI data centers, the deployment of long runway of 4G and 5G deployments, not only in India but globally, and the backhaul networks for those as well, and the investments in broadband connectivity that continues at quite a fast pace across the world. Then digitalization of cities, the smart cities, safe cities, and applications like that, and the modernization of utility networks, and modernization of not only utility networks but also international VC of old TDM-based network infrastructure. The large infrastructure has been deployed. Modernization of those networks also. So all of the applications that we target with our RAN, 4G, 5G RAN and backhaul products, with our multi-terabit packet and packet transport, switching and optical products, and our FTTH, GPON, XGS-PON products, we see a lot of traction for most of the applications that are driving this network traffic growth across the world. So with that, I'll stop over here and we can take some questions. We can do a Q&A session right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Aman Soni from Invest Analytics Advisory LLP. Please go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Congrats for a good set of numbers. Just one question on the kind of execution that happened in this quarter. It is quite significant, right? So my question is, do you see like this kind of execution is going to sustain in the upcoming quarters for next, say, 3 to 4 quarters, sir?
Execution in terms of our RAN shipments, 4G, 5G shipments to this?
Execution in terms of top line and bottom line kind of margins you reported in this quarter.
Well, as you know, we don't give revenue guidance, quarterly guidance kind of thing. But I think people are fairly knowledgeable and I think understand our business quite well as our business pipeline order book. So without, we really don't give any business guidance about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sohan Joshi from ASC Consultants. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Sohan, you are audible.
Congratulations for a great set of numbers. My first question is, in the previous Concall, you said that BSNL is going to come up with a nationwide tender for 5G in high-speed performance back of 3.5 gigahertz band. Can you please share any update whether any proof of concept is going on with regards to this?
Yeah. Yes, there are. So not for the 3.5 gigahertz band yet, but for the 5G upgrades, the POCs that we are doing right now is for the 5G upgrades to in the 4G band that we have shipped.
Okay, so that is for the 40% sites under 2100 megahertz, right? Basically, the proof of concept which is going on currently.
Yeah, not only in that, but it's also in the other bands as well.
Okay, so the tender is out. When the tender will be floated, this part of the project?
No. This 5G upgrade is part of the current tender that we are executing right now.
Okay. Got it.
Not for the 3.5 gigahertz band, which is going to come later.
Okay, got it. My second question is, does CG Power have acquired the radio frequency components from Renaissance Electronics? So can you please explain what will be the implications of this on our partnership with Renaissance for designing and development of semiconductor solutions for 4G, 5G RAN?
See, we are users of those semiconductor components. We are not designers of those of the semiconductor components which goes into 4G, 5G RAN. So I think whatever partnership that you're talking about is, going to be, supplies for the radios which are being designed for 4G, 5G, and so that's what the implication is. I mean, it's not that we are not in that business of semiconductor chips or for radios.
So is it right to assume that going ahead, since we have already done localization of most of the components, going ahead, there won't be any major imports from our side, and since majority will be components will be localized?
No, I think many of the key semiconductor components are still imported because they come from tier 1 semiconductor vendors across the world, and a lot of it is in the US. But there are other components of the radio. A lot of it is actually localized, and for those parts, we will source from India. But I think the key semiconductors are still imported components.
One last question.
Which are not yet manufactured in India. I think at the time, you hear a lot of noise of semiconductor fabs coming up and all those kind of things. I think when they become real and when the production starts over there and relevant chips that we use for our wireless and wireline products, when they start getting manufactured in India, of course, we will definitely source for them. But that's still going to take some time.
Okay, one last question. Now, since a lot of talks are going on with regards to satellite communication, and BSNL have also started testing direct-to-device solutions, are we in talks with BSNL or any other Tata Group companies or any other internet service provider for satellite communication devices of Sankhya?
Yeah, we are talking to a few potential customers, but again, these are long lead times. These things don't happen overnight. So we are talking to a few of the other providers and see, where we can take the satellite communication product, the vehicle tracking system that we have, built, and see if we can use it for other applications.
So proof of concepts are going on with regards to these devices, right?
So the vehicle tracking system is deployed. It is actually not proof of concept, it's actually shipped.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All the best for the upcoming quarters.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Advait Lath from Nippon India Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so congrats on a great set of numbers. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just wanted to ask, how has our international order pipeline grown or declined year on year, or what is the color there in terms of what you think and how it has shaped up?
Yeah, I think this quarter has been a bit soft from our international business, especially from many of our run-rate customers, but they also come in cycles. But importantly, I think we've been able to win a few more logos, few more new customers, which are strategic wins in international territory. So we looking at that as as a very positive sign as we expand our footprint across many more customer base. So that's how it went during the quarter.
Right, sir. And on actually two components, Kavach. Kavach is a big opportunity. So do you think we are well placed in it because of the wireless aspect of it?
Yeah. So as of now, given that we've had very successful POC, I think we are well placed over there. Our products do meet the requirements that the customers want.
Got it, sir. And just last question from my side. The 5G upgradation, you said it's already baked into the current tender. What about the incremental 5G deployment? That would have to be tendered again, and that timeline is not clear, right?
Yeah. So that timeline is not clear. We are expecting it to happen, later in the later quarters. But right now, the first part of it is the 5G upgrade in the current network in the existing bands. And that's the current tender, and we don't yet have that PO, so we're doing the POC right now.
So that would be implemented in FY25 itself, or that will take a bit longer?
Yeah, I don't think it is going to be executed in all of it in FY25. I mean, we think that when it will take some time for the POC to get completed and orders to come and the execution to happen. So I think it will be a few quarters.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sanjesh Jain. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my questions. I have a couple of them. First, on this Kavach project, are we involved into the equipment for anti-collision or the 4G or LTE deployment on 700, which is the same band we are putting for BSNL for the railway as well? What is the part within the Kavach are we playing the role?
Yeah, it's only the wireless communication network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. That's very clear. Second, on the closing backlog, which stands at close to 71 billion rupees, can you just help us in breaking what is the BSNL's component within this 71 billion and how has non-BSNL component has grown Q2 and YOY?
Yeah, we actually don't disclose customer-wise or any other segment-wise like that. So I think we just the closing backlog is actually 4,845 crores. You may have seen the presentation. So we only split it between India and international and don't disclose it customer-wise, project-wise.
Got it. That's not a problem. And on the last question, how has been the performance of the network? Because we have been on now probably at a risk of deployment. How has been the performance of the network which has been rolled out on our network? Has it been same as what was proven during POC?
The performance actually has been pretty good. So I mean, as we said in the we've shipped close to 50,000 sites website, and a lot of it is actually being installed and commissioned. And also, I think you must have seen on the press that there are a lot of BSNL is getting a lot more customer traction. A lot of folks are coming back. So far so good. I mean, the radios have been performing very well. We are closely monitoring. So again, we've been shipping now for more than a year. So far so good, and we'll continue to monitor.
Got it. Just one last question. Are we anyway also looking into getting into the maintenance or O&M part of the network, or we will restrict ourselves to the supplying equipment?
No, I think maintenance is and support is part of the tender. And there is, I think after 3 years, we have the support agreement which is there. And that will come after the 3-year period of time after deployment.
So when we say closing backlog, do we include the O&M part as well?
No, not as of now.
That is only the equipment part of it, right? So O&M will be a recurring business and it will kick in from year 3.
That is correct.
Got it. That's very clear. Very helpful. Best of luck and thanks for taking my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ashish Sriram Thavkar from JM Mutual Funds. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So with this Cisco, they're setting up a facility in India, and simultaneously, we also have a center of excellence for wireless communication. So at any point in time, could we get engaged with Cisco? How should we read it?
No, I think these two are unconnected. Cisco manufacturing in India, and this doesn't connect us in any way with Cisco. Our wireless lab, a center of excellence, is for our research and development efforts in wireless, and Cisco is more of localizing their manufacturing over here. And these two are not connected, these two issues, right?
Yeah, fair enough. And on Kavach, I guess there's some shift in timelines from the government side. So how long do you see before we before investors get to see some revenue traction? Is it a delayed opportunity?
Yeah, I think it is. Tender itself is running a bit behind schedule. Even though I think the testing and POCs and all are done, but I think the tender itself is running a little behind schedule. So it is still scheduled for definitely this financial year as of now.
Okay. And what about BharatNet phase 3 then? The tenders are closed. Any timelines? When can the outcomes come out?
Well, it is definitely far more advanced than Kavach, where all the bidding has happened, tendering and bidding has happened. So, I mean, we expect to see, from what we know, I think there's a lot of background work happening in the tender evaluation. So, maybe several weeks from now, depending on how the evaluation goes, and that's the time we'll probably see the results coming out.
Okay, fair enough. So lastly on this Vodafone, we were also engaged in a dialogue with Vodafone. Any success there or potentially any business could come our way?
I don't think we've disclosed any particular customer by name where POCs are going on, except for BSNL and maybe railways. But yeah, I think there are customers, there are tier 1 operators in the country where the POCs are going on, and these POCs are going to a little extended cycle because as and when it comes, there are additional feature requests or some improvement requests we keep updating and all. So it's a longer POC cycle, and it is going well, and we hope to see business coming at the end of it. It is going to be a little long process, POC.
Perfect. Just one last, if I may. So this international business, if you could share your perspective, 3 years out, where do you see international business? Is there at least in terms of quantum of order book that you want to build for those markets? Is there some number which is there in your mind?
For international business?
Yeah. What kind?
International business in general or for wireless, or what was your question? It was not clear.
It's a general for wireless or for our RAN equipment and the equipment that we supply.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to quantify it, and we don't give guidance, but we are starting to see a lot of good traction and bidding opportunities and POC opportunities coming up. So as I mentioned, that we are starting to see. Initially our focus was mainly making BSNL successful and doing some of the local trials and POCs and opportunities in India, whether the private operators or Kavach or stuff like that. But now we are starting to engage a lot and outside of India as well, and seeing a lot more opportunities opening up for bidding and for POCs and things like that. So, but it's hard to quantify numbers at this stage.
Perfect. That was helpful, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jinesh Shah from RSPN Ventures. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. First of all, congratulations on your numbers. So my first question would be that as of end of Q2, we had a major order book from BSNL, and right now we are targeting a couple more opportunities like Kavach, BharatNet, and everything. So I just wanted to understand that. What might be the expected TAM from all the opportunities that we are targeting, and also if we get the contract, then what will be the expected execution time that we will be starting the equipment supply and everything? If you can provide a guidance on that.
Yeah, I think the TAM is something we don't really disclose it over, and also hard to establish across all of them. For the tenders that have come out for BharatNet and all, I think you've seen a lot of public reports on the tenders and